Good morning. It's the day. Today is the day. It's a 2 cup of tea morning. Let's start with that one. Yes, welcome to the third bit, which is the very exciting and quite foreboding bit, which is the covering, the gluing on of the stuff. The stuff all being over here. Actually, that's back there, but it's this stuff. Onto the head and cab we have stripped and sanded and generally seen far too much of over these last 2 videos. I'm going to crack straight on. I don't know whether to do the cab or the head first, or I'll probably do the 2 back bits to get a bit of practice in. I will film. You will see whether you want to or not. Well, if you don't want to, just go and watch something else. But yeah, this is the last bit, hopefully, and then we'll be putting it all back together. Right, onward. This is it then. I can put it off no longer because since last we spoke, I have spent a great deal of time looking and thinking and saying, right, we're doing it, and then looking and thinking and then saying, okay, now, because I'm kind of dreading this. I don't know why. I think this is where it's all going to go pear-shaped. And if you're anything like me, you will have been doing the same with your cab, or will. Russell, sorry, because it's kind of get it right first time. So I'm going to start with the back panel. Let's just do it. I'm going to use I've got spray contact adhesive, and I've got the gloopy paint on contact adhesive. And I'm going to try the spray to start with, because I think it might be a bit more forgiving, frankly. Right, let's do it. You've got to wait 30 seconds. And the rolling pin. Oh wow, well the mask works. Whew, take that off and you can smell the stuff. Blimey. I know I've not done all the way up to the edges, especially because this one is going to be cut along here, so there is going to be an edge. I'm going to use the paint on really gloopy contact adhesive on that, but I think I'm going to let this dry. Well, I'm going to give it a little while anyway, but relatively painless. What I've done now, because this is my first wrappy round bit and it's an easy one, I've just cut out the corners, because it's just going to go like that and like that and like that, and then once it's folded over I'm going to do the 45-degree cut at the corner and then peel away the under bits. And then we should have 2 neatly bookended nice bits that butt up against each other. Okay, so my cunning plan with the gloopy glue, because the minute it starts touching air it starts setting, I'm going to keep it in here, and I've got a mug of water, broken mug of water, to put my brush in. Oh god, this is so stringy. This is the bit. These are the bits that you need to see before you try it. Just go for it. Whoa, that's a lot. And now we give it 10 minutes. I don't know if you saw, well, you wouldn't have done because it would have been cut or sped up, but I was having problems at this end. I think I might still have problems. I put the glue on and it's horrible to go on. It's like spreading Play-Doh. It doesn't want to spread. But I put the glue on and tried sort of putting a bit more over the top and spreading it. And as I did that, it was pulling off what I'd already put on. So I was just making 2 sort of balls of it. I might try keeping the heater on and warming the shed up a bit. Maybe that's it. It's cold, but I don't know. Well, it's later. I think we're tack dry. So we're going to try the sticking. Remember what I said about doing this bit first, because this is where I'm going to find out the mistakes and the problems. Here goes. I don't like this gloopy contact adhesive. I think I'm going to try and do as much with the spray adhesive as I can. It just seems a bit easier going on and spreading. I might try, speaking of spreading, I might try using a little spatula with this stuff rather than a brush, because it just seems to want to stick to the brush. It loves the brush and wants to be close to it, and so you're putting it on with the brush, and as you're putting it on, you know, you get a new brush full, and that's pulling off what you've just put on and dragging it along with it. So right, corners. So I've folded that corner down. I'm folding this corner over the top of it. And then the craftsman bit. Let's do this one before we get to the bottom. Oh, I've got a gap. Anyway, you get your knife there. You do a cut like that. And you cut through both of them. And then you peel off this one from your scrapbook. And then you lift this one up. Oh God, see? You lift this one up and take that bit out. In doing that, you leave, ooh, hey, a lovely little seam. But I'm going to trim these bits now, I think, while I can still kind of get it off. But that is okay. Yeah, that's not going to do on the amp. Mind you, the corners on the amp will cover that, won't they? See, bodging already. But that, you see the corners? Can you see that? Probably not. Yeah, that 45-degree thing, that kind of works. So I'm going to trim this now. That looks like a back panel off an amp, like what proper people build. My brain is saying do the cab first, because A, it's at the bottom. I mean, there's a lot of it. I think it's going to be trickier, and it's probably better to tackle the tricky bit early on while I'm still keen, rather than when I've cocked up the cab and I'm feeling all dejected and thinking, oh, let's just glue it on, get it on, I don't care about wrinkles anymore. So yeah, let's do the cab, because then hopefully the head will be a bit easier, and that'll be like the home straight, and it'll be all exciting. He said, right, cab. This is my material. I'm just double checking my measurements. Obviously you don't want to get halfway through it and realise you've not got enough to go all the way round. So yeah, that's the top. That's it wrapped round. I'm just checking I've sort of got roughly the right amount at the edges to fold over. I've cut loads over, which I'd recommend you do too. So we're going to be starting somewhere about here, just beyond where the original seam was. I'm doing the bottom first for obvious reasons, not least being that I get to say bottom. It's stuck. Will it stay stuck? We don't know, but it's on. Idiot. Well, we've done the first cock up. Would you like to see? Obviously I sprayed glue all the way to the end of my overlong bit, and when I got to the top it flopped over. And now I've got contact adhesive where I don't want contact adhesive. I'm going to try and get this off. See, I should have bought some glue remover, shouldn't I? I'm just going to try peeling it, I think, the old-fashioned way. Or maybe I should let it dry. It's on the bottom. It's not the end of the world. Keep telling yourself that. Ah! I'm going to choose to ignore that. Right, I'm not very proud of that. I've made a gigantic mess of doing that seam. Let me show you. May as well. Full disclosure and all that. So, you remember I was distracted really because I've got loads of contact adhesive here where the flap folded over, and then I've gone and cut my seam along here, and then forgot to take the bottom bit out. You cut the seam, obviously you peel off the bit on top, but then you're supposed to get the bit out from underneath. So I've done that, but it's stretched it and made it a bit wonky, so it's not ideal. One thing I did find to get a bit of this off is to use a bit that already had some contact adhesive on it. So well, it did work. There we go. So I'll get the rest off with some glue remover, but it's the bottom. And apart from that, I'm pretty chuffed with how that's gone. It's all gone on, and now I'm going to play and try and do some corners, which will probably create more bad mood. Okay, onward. Let's have a think. I'm going to persevere with the gloopy glue because the spray's a bit random to be getting in this bit, and I'm going to try and go a little bit at a time, and I'm going to try using a scraper instead of a brush. Famous last words. I think corner caps on cabs aren't so much designed for protection as much as for hiding your untidiness. I'm certainly glad this one's got them. I wouldn't like to be doing a cab without corner cap. So yeah, we're about halfway up the corner, and I'm going as straight as I can, like that. So now I've got a bit that'll kind of fold there, and a bit that'll kind of fold there, and then we can do our cut there, and the corner cap will cover that bit. Lovely! Let's get glooping. Right, that's it. Whoa! Oh, wow, these are good. Can't smell a thing through that. Two things to note before I put this back on or open the door. Yeah, keeping the lid on that to try and keep the air out of it, to keep it reasonably flexible, but there's a skin forming already. It's horrible stuff. Also, brush and my little scraper. This is definitely the way to go with your contact adhesive. I would say don't try and use a brush. It's well, on this anyway, it's spread on the cab at least really well with this. And I should check what time it is, shouldn't I? Right, 25 to, so I'm going to say about 1:45, 10 to crack on with that. Yeah, use one of these. Let's let that dry, and then try the next bit. Oh, and keep them in water because keeps the air off the contact cement, stops it setting solid. In theory, that's what I saw a knowledgeable American saying on one of the proper videos about doing this, not the hapless boy wonder cocking it up. Right, cup of tea. Okay, right, I brought you in a bit closer for this. Sorry about that. I'll try and stay out of shot. My contact adhesive is now ready for contact, so I'm just going to go ahead and try and do this side, and we're going to have a go at the corners. Oh, right, okay, so why can you never find a palette knife when you need one? Normally you open up your toolbox and you can't find anything but palette knives. Palette knife, palette knife, palette knife, all in the way. The minute you want one, they're all hiding under things. Oh. Sorry, am I starting to sound like James May? I'll stop that. I perhaps should have measured this a bit more carefully. I've never owned a rolling pin before. This project's enriching my life in so many ways. Let's try and do the corner. So, what was I saying earlier? We do that, and then we cut. Where's my corner? I'm going to try going the other way. My corner. Cut through like that. Move that away. I guess we cut straight down there, don't we? And then we also take off this bit that's under here. And that should give us a kind of neat corner. Fold that bit up there. One blue. That's not bad. For a first attempt, that's going to be covered anyway. Reasonably pleased with that. I'm going to press on, and as always, faithful viewer, long-suffering viewer, I will stop at the next mistake. Right, that's two sides done. We're about to start the third and fourth. Hello, Moo.
Hey Dad, Mummy says he wants a cup of tea.
I would love a cup of tea.
Okay.
You want to see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I am gluing this to this. Look, covering me up. Say hello to the camera.
Hi, camera.
Say hello to you, stand here.
Huh?
Say, hello YouTube people.
Hello YouTube.
Go and get my tea.
People.
Go and get my tea.
Okay.
Bye, dude. Right. A child. Hopefully when he grows up, he'll be more sensible than to attempt something like this, and he'll pay a man to do it. Okay, good. Well then, that's the back bit kind of done, and I'm encouraged by it because it looks all right. I think a lot of my shoddiness is going to be saved by corner plates, but on the whole, that's gone okay, and it's looking a lot neater than I thought it would. So the outside's looking nice, the edges are all looking okay. This is promising. It's very windy today. I don't know if you can hear this gale blowing outside. It's doing nothing for my nerves. Right, that is kind of on. I'm not going nuts about pushing on hard at this point. Once it's all neat and done, I'll push it on hard. This contact adhesive is good stuff. It's horrible to put on. But once it's dried and you get to this point, you realise it's the right tool for the job. I just wish it was a bit easier to say. I wish it was thinner. You could paint it on and it'd be a lot nicer to work with, but right, okay. So we're getting to this sort of situation now where you get a crunch. Because I can always trim that bit again. The worst thing is when you cut too short, as I found out on one of the back corners, and you have a gap. I don't like gaps. Not on my cab. Right, that is stuck. That's all right. That's quite a neat edge. I don't mind staring at that when I'm tuning up. Now to ruin it. Right, let's have a go at doing the corner then. I bought an old corner down with me for reference, and I've got a knife and I've got my scraper. So I'm going to have to sort of work around you, sorry. I suppose first things first. Well, we're not going to need any of that, are we? So I can probably no, let's not. Let's do the scrapey, makey sure we've got it nice and straight. Don't you start sticking to things. And now I'm just going to sort of lay it on. Again, not pressing very hard. I appreciate you probably can't see what I'm doing because of this flap. Before I put the glue on, I drew a little line on where it's going to go, where it's going to end up. I suppose just feel where my corner is. That's where my corner is. That's my corner that's going to go on the outside a bit tighter than that. That's where the corner is, so we're going down there. So I'm going to, very boldly I think, actually no, I should probably cut. It's the uncertainty that gets to you when you're doing this. I'm going to cut down here. That's going to go around there. The thing is, you can't really see where your corner is. Corner's there. I'm putting the knife in. The knife is in. And I'm going down. Oh God, you know what? I'm not going to have room to cut it here, am I? Maybe just the blade on its own would be better. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to push. Get all the way through both of them. And then do the same on this corner. So the theory being, now we can peel this off. I guess we can cut that right off because it's going to be under the corner cap. And then we can lift this up and peel off the bit underneath. Oh. Which is probably bigger than it needed to be, which is also now stuck to me new contact cement. Peel that off there, and then this should give us a nice clean corner. Oh sorry, I'm wobbling the carpet. Well, it's cleanish. Yeah, can see that? Good enough. Right, I shall press on and finish this bit before it all glues itself down without my help. And what we've ended up with is quite a neat corner. Obviously in high def and super close, it's not going to look as good. Oh, we'll get some light on that in a minute. But as these things go, that is a passable corner. The bit I was worried about actually was this, you know, where an angled cab angles, and whether I'd need to make a cut along there where the two bits wouldn't want to play ball, but it seems to have gone okay. A bit of sort of pulling and stretching and it's gone all right. So I'm going to get trimming, and the important thing is that corner's not going to look too bad, especially when it's got, hang on, this is an old corner cap. It's corner cap on, you're not really going to notice any of that. That's okay. Next. Right, let's have another go at documenting this corner thing. I'm going to have another crack at this one. My corner is there. Kind of. Under that wind. Well, that's gone okay. See, maybe that was the problem. I was doing this with a bit of Radiohead on, and I've switched now to Burn the Priest. Sorry, any priests, if you're watching. Which is infinitely noisier, and it seems to be better to work to. It's certainly making this go a bit smoother anyway, unless it's luck. It's certainly not talent. That's okay. Obviously going to need trimming and whatnot, but corner wise that's okay. Well, that's not even the cut line, that's just a ripple in the stuff. That's the cut line there, and that is a sort of happy accident, worked out quite neatly in there. Yeah, progress. Yeah, we've moved from Burn the Priest to Code Orange. I'm going to take this gas mask off. It's not a gas mask, it's a filter. Looks like a gas mask though, it's very cool. Right, let's try another corner, because it's all been going so terribly well. Move me like that. Okay. Thank God for corner covers. That's all I'm saying. Kind of where the screw's going to go. So you get to the last couple of corners and you start actually getting the hang of it a bit. Oh, famous last words. You wait, you watch now. This is all going to go horribly wrong. So then we cut. The hardest thing is not being able to see through this stuff to where the corner is. It's kind of there. Let me get me. Let me wedge a little nodge in there. Wedge a little nodge. This is all very technical stuff, kids. And we cut through both like that. And we can do the same up there, I guess. And hopefully, that underneath bit will just. Oh, it'll start separating. Perfect. Oh, it's all starting to disintegrate into mush now. Looks so easy on the other YouTube videos, I'm sure you'll agree. But that's kind of the reason for this one, isn't it? It's a real life version. Squidge that in there. And then let's push that down there. Let's cut a little line in then. It's kind of working. Right. The problem is, as soon as you do a top bit, the rest of it wants to join in. It starts getting ahead of you and sticking itself down like this is doing at the corner already. Oh, you end up pulling all your contact adhesive off. I'm wishing you'd never started. Sorry, I'm being a little less vocal, which again you're probably breathing a sigh of relief at, but yeah, I can't talk and think, you know, multitasking and all that. Brain can do motor functions or speech. And look at that, we have a covered cab, which I have to say I'm rather proud of. That's it. I'll tell you what, I'll drop it down so we can actually see it. Pleased. Yeah. Anyway, enough of my back patting. Yeah, let's crack on. I think maybe I should call it a night after I've done this. Mind you, it's only, what time is it? 5:15. We're not done too bad. We've been in here since about, oh God, 9 o'clock. And then most of that time was spent just looking and worrying about what I was about to do next. Okay, I'm just gonna cut through at an angle. Not being too precious about this because it's all going to be hidden by the handle on the outside. Ooh. I'm going to do something like that. Next time I'll use a protractor and get all these angles the same, promise. Next time, like I'm going to do this again. I would actually. I would say, if you are thinking about doing this, do it, because it's not as hard as you might think, obviously, because I'm managing it. And if I can do it without gluing my head to the worktop, then you'll find it an absolute breeze, because you're really good at stuff like this. You just don't know it yet. Handle pocket, socket, hole, thing. Let's do it to the one. I'm going to say no science, just a sharp knife, but that sounds like a Bring Me the Horizon song, doesn't it? I don't mind Bring Me the Horizon. When they're being noisy, I'm not so keen on the... Why am I talking about plans? Well, because I've got nothing else to talk about really, have I? Yeah, I am no expert on Bring Me the Horizon, but I wish them all the best. Saw them once. Download, they were jolly good. There's lots of fire. You can't go wrong if you're in any doubt. Bring lots of fire. What smashing stuff contact adhesive is when you get the hang of it. I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow to do the head. I think I might carry on and get everything bolted back onto the cab tonight. Corners, feet. I'll be able to use my new screws. Well, not new screws, painted screws. And then tomorrow will be amp day. Now, I'm sure there's something that's going to come back to bite me doing this so early, you know, but I'm excited. That's when we make our best mistakes, isn't it, when we're excited. Newly covered grill going in. Let's get that in. That's exciting. Shiny new handles. And what was a bit rattly is now a very snug fit, which is no bad thing. And we've got out the one set of new screws we managed to find, that we didn't have to paint. We can start rattling them in. There, handle. So at least I'll be able to carry it back into the house with a degree of comfort tonight. Spin it round. Ruffles in. Let's do the other one. Now, as I might have already muttered, I am planning to stick, well, I say planning, I'd like to stick a little switch on the back here, or if not a switch, at least 2 jack sockets. But the switch would be neater to change this from 4 ohms, which is what it is, well, when it's wired in 4 ohms, to 16. So I can play my HT5 through it, because I think my HT5 would like that. I've been putting the corners on, which has gone swimmingly. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to whiz the speakers in, wire it up, get the back on. But the last thing I'm going to do down here is try and put the Blackstar grill badge back on. Now, you'll remember when we took it off, there was some peg snapping. So I have got to mark out and measure and work out where it sits, and then I've got to get the super glue out, which is a bit scary, but you know, scary's what we do now, isn't it? We're good at scary. Look what scary accomplishes. Still not sure if this is going to sit properly when it's screwed on the back. Look, corners are on, and the old screws don't look too bad. So corners on, handles on. This is going excellently. Let's try and measure out a Blackstar logo. I'll try and do a picture in pic. There's a story behind this. Remember when I said I was going to clean it up? Hang on, can you see? It is now cleaned up wonderfully, looks brand new. I did a bit of the old trawling on Thinterwebs. Mayonnaise to get off sticky stuff. I coated this in mayonnaise. I was slightly worried because it was Hellman's Light. It wasn't full fat mayonnaise, it was not a diet but lighter version, but it did the trick. Nearly new Blackstar badge. So let's get measuring. I suppose I should find where the center point is, and I'm going to do that by getting me one off the grill, giving it a measure, and then we'll know where middle is. I might just do it by eye if I'm honest. No, we won't do it by eye. I'm going to get some masking tape out. She's there. So point bit of K is going there. Oh, it's the stuff dreams are made of. Seriously. Super glue time, kids. I don't like super glue. I have a nasty habit of getting it everywhere and sticking my fingers to stuff. Oh, here we go. Straight away. I'm hoping this sticks. If it doesn't, I haven't actually got a plan B at the minute. Apart from possibly contact adhesive. Straight away, look. Cross everything for me. This doesn't look. Excuse me, pardon my language. Don't use your fingers to get it off, you idiot. Oh, bother. Well, all you disaster fans out there will have been getting bored up till now, won't you? Because it was going quite well. So there you go, there's something for you. Please stick. Please stick. Oh, it's February the 1st. Cheers. I'm just going to hold this here for an hour. Take that off before. Oh God, here we go. Oh, marvellous. Now we've got masking tape in the next. Do we use a knife on cloth? Is this wise? We're just teasing, I think our old mate the black Sharpie pen's going to be coming out again. I knew this would be a problem. I knew it would. I thought it's going to be the last triumphant bit, you know. Pop your badge on. That's you done. Well, there's a little bit of leakage, but nothing you'd notice. Well, something I'm going to notice forever, but at least I can see the problem now. That was the wonky bit, I'll say. That bit of glue. Everything else went flawlessly. It's done. I'm quite pleased. Well, very pleased. Look at that. It's very impressive. Look. Put back on. You can't see that glue, can you? Not from there. Not from the front row, you can't. Good. Right, inside. Speakers. Welcome to my loft. Told you you'd like it. Right, this is the last bit for tonight, which is just going to be sticking the speakers back in and wiring them back to 4 ohms. And if you don't mind, I'm going to have the rugby on quietly in the background while I do this. So the only thing to know about this, ominous music, is to make sure all the terminals are pointing in. Obviously, you're not an idiot. Give them a quick dust. These are Celestian, what are they? 7080s in this cab, which I've read a fair amount of bitching about on the internet, but from my quick playthrough when I got this, sound fine to my ears, certainly as good as I require, not being a tone hound or what have you. I'm weakened by a day of covering a cab. There's no real drama in Wales versus Italy, is there? I mean, it's really just a question of exactly how big the win is going to be, but you know. Mission accomplished. My phone ran out of memory. Cheers, by the way. During that last video, haven't watched it yet, so I don't know how far we got, but you know, it doesn't really matter at this point, does it? The end product is done. I'm sitting in front of it. I'm very pleased. I'll have a quick look around it in a minute. And it almost, I've been banging on about this. This is my little HT5, which I've had for about 10 years. It's in the artisan finish. It's a little bit dusty, but it kind of matches. Oh, be careful. Yeah, that looks rather sweet, doesn't it? Let's get out of the way. Let's have a quick look. So yes, there's just the little matter of that bit underneath the logo I'm going to Sharpie in. But grill cloth looks okay. Lovely stuff. Slightly different colour, but that doesn't matter. The head's going to be the same. Lovely, lovely, lovely HT5. Yeah, all good. And at the back with the screws on, as I thought, you can kind of see the edge a bit, but for the most part, that looks almost like something you'd buy. So yeah, on the whole, I'm delighted. I just need to make that, where am I pointing, that match that, which is 16 ohms. Dun, 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 dun.